Good morning. Now, I wanted to interrupt regular scheduled programming because I believe we're right in the middle of the Groschglockner tour at the moment to bring you this little update. So here I am in the middle of September of 2023, and this is my last ride on the, well, my 2016 Triumph Trophy 1200 SE. I've had this bike for a year and I've done many adventures with it. 4 tours in total, 3 of which have been filmed. So we have done the Iron Ring tour right at the top of the year, as well as the 3 pub challenge, or the lazy 3 pub challenge, the Groschglockner tour, and then the D-Day tour, so across Normandy, which I came back from about 2 weeks ago. But it was on that tour, the D-Day tour I'm talking about, that I made the decision to get rid of this bike. I'm going to tell you why. Okay, back on the road. There was a fender bender there on the junction, causing a massive tailback, and sadly there were too many rubberneckers and too many people actually stopping, blocking more lanes, trying to help, but they were causing more of a problem, blocking a 4-lane junction to a 1-lane junction when they had nothing to do with what was going on. Irritating, and therefore causing more, a higher probability of a further accident. Anyway, so back from that D-Day tour, this is the last ride. I'm taking it back to Triumph. I've had a phenomenal time with this bike. I think it's fantastic. It is no true reflection on the machine itself. A huge part of this decision is personal. It's down to personal circumstance and reason, and it is, and I'll share with you. I've got no problems with that. It's primarily down to my dad letting me down, and for a number of different reasons, and finding out about 2 weeks ago that he'd got rid of his trophy. So it's just down to association. It was a really bad taste in my mouth, in summary, to cut it all short, and that was the main reason. So during that D-Day tour, while on this bike, it just didn't feel right. I wasn't having a really great time, and for a number of different reasons, but I think really the underlying reason was that. And every time I got on the bike, I was kind of resenting it, and therefore because of that resentment, picking out a number of different things that didn't really bother me that much before were really irritating me. So it's personal, it's a bad taste, a bad association, because if you look at it objectively, it's a phenomenal machine. It's super comfortable, bags of power, fully loaded with gadgets and toys and gadgets, and it's purely designed for touring, and it's fantastic at it. And I loved every minute of sharing my Groschglockner tour with this bike. And that really is the only reason for me to keep it, because of that association with that phenomenal tour. And I'll miss it for that, covering all those countries for the very first time. It's pretty special. However, this is the right thing for me. It's the right thing to do to make me happy, because ultimately, if you're not happy, what's the point? And this is why I've come to make that decision. So it's all moved fairly quickly. Looked at other bikes. In fact, I was talking about them a lot on the D-Day tour to myself, rationalising which bike I should go for, aim for, and I'll cover that. I mean, I've already dropped huge hints to it already on my Instagram feed, but it's the right decision. I'm pretty happy about what the direction I'm going in. But the objective reasons, so non-personal reasons that were getting under the skin, there were a couple, and I made reference to them a lot, a number of times in other videos. The elephant in the room, very much pun intended, is the weight. This thing is heavy. It's a 300 kilogram bike, man. It's a heavy bike. So when you are, and when you're moving, it's absolutely fine. But when you're tired and having to stop-start, and it's getting on to the end of the day, it becomes a bit of a chore lifting the thing up, and that was a problem. Not a major one. Like, not all of these are manageable, but because it's so low, your feet are flat on the ground, it's fine. But in wet weather, when slippery surfaces, I was terrified about dropping this. Things like on the Eurostar and things like that. Of course, when I did drop it, I've dropped it twice. There is just no way I was going to be able to pick this thing up. The second thing was the clutch. This thing right here. It's so heavy. It's such a heavy clutch, and I struggled with it a lot during city riding, when on tour or in traffic. For example, on the D-Day tour, on the way down to Calais, Folkestone, sorry, it was bumper to bumper several times on the motorway. Absolute nightmare. And it's it's not an easy bike to filter, and I try to avoid doing that at the best of times. So the stop-start of that heavy clutch, it just wasn't fun. I wasn't enjoying myself at all with that. It became a real chore to manage that. And equally, again, as I said, through city traffic, just the stop and start of it all. Again, especially when you're tired. And these, I know, I can hear myself. I know these are little things, but these little things mount up from the point of view when you're not happy. And it's not as if I haven't covered major miles with it. I've covered I think 6,000 to 7,000 miles with this bike this year, which isn't too shabby. I think I can be proud with that. And I've covered many countries with it. But I was coming back from Normandy thinking I want something lighter with a lighter clutch, and honestly a little bit more updated, a little bit more modern in regards to the user interface. But again, that's just a minor thing. I was looking at that, thinking about that, sorry, when considering new bike time, so anyway, so that's it. That's the skinny of it all. And so I've been chatting to a number of dealerships, and of course that includes Triumph, Staffordshire Triumph to be precise. And there was just a preliminary chats, just to feel it out at the end of this year. If there are any options. I was actually looking at doing this at the beginning of ahead of next year's season. But just through a series of, I lost my train of thought there. Through a series of unplanned happy coincidences, things have aligned, and the right bike happened to be in the showroom at the right time. But I have thoroughly enjoyed riding with this bike and this wonderful big 1200 smooth as butter triple engine, and having this big wide comfy seat, and taking this bike across all of those countries. But it is time to say goodbye. And as I pull up to Triumph, I'm not sad or second guessing myself at all. I know that this is the right decision, which says everything. here we are. That's an original Tiger over there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, that's it. That's the last ride. And I'll give you an update, video update, on the new bike once it's collected. So I'll see you soon.